Hello again, everybody. It's Brian Allee-Walsh with NewOrleans.com. It's Monday, day after the Saints' first defeat of the regular season. A very disappointing, very dramatic 27-24 loss to the Atlanta Falcons in overtime at the Superdome. And unless you've been under a rock, been out of the country, or just haven't been paying attention to life in general, you know how the Saints lost. Garrett Hartley, well, there's a lot of ways how the Saints lost, but the one that we all remember at this stage of today is that Garrett Hartley, the young kicker, missed a 29-yard chip shot with a little under 9 minutes left in overtime that would have given the Saints the victory, a good lead in the NFC South, and also a 3-0 record. But it went badly wide left, which have a number of his kicks this season already. And the Falcons cashed in on that miscue, drove the length of the field and kicked their own 46-yard field goal by Matt Bryant just inside the 2-minute mark, and they walked away with a big win for the Falcons organization and a huge loss for the Saints so early in the season. I asked Sean Payton on Saturday if there was such a thing as a critical game in week 3. And it was a typical response you'd get from a head coach. You don't want to put too much emphasis on any one game, particularly in week 3 of the regular season. But he did point out that, of course, it's a home game and it's a divisional game. And those are two things that should motivate, and one of those things should strongly work in your favor, and that's being at your home field. And now they've got to pack away the game tape from yesterday's loss and get ready mentally and physically for the Carolina Panthers come Sunday. Now, the big thing is, in the wake of Garrett Hartley's miss, fans have stopped me throughout the day and said, are they going to get rid of the kicker? That's the easy thing to do. And actually, I was kind of happy to see what Sean Payton's response was at our Monday press gathering, the post-mortem, if you will. He said there's a lot more wide lefts than just the kicker. And it's a very appropriate statement. Captured the essence, I think, of yesterday's game. By that, he means that they've got a lot of other concerns and not just the kicker. He is a concern, there's no doubt about that, but they have other problems, other as big, if not bigger problems to be concerned with. And they come on defense and they come on offense. Offense is still struggling under Drew Brees. This is not the same Drew Brees that we're accustomed to seeing. The running game looked pitiful yesterday, and Jeremy Shockey and Lance Moore were the lone bright spots, in my opinion, on offense. On defense, couldn't get off the field. You allow a team 45 minutes on the field, you're lucky to be down to a final field goal in overtime. Couldn't get off the field, couldn't cover Tony Gonzalez. And they had a couple of key injuries, which I'll get to in a minute, but essentially they couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop Tony Gonzalez, and therefore you can't get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. They were, I think, 8 of 16 on 3rd down conversion, 2 of 3 on 4th down. That's just, you can't allow that to happen. Injury-wise, there's some ones I can't get into. I can't delve into them with any knowledge at all, other than to say Drew Brees has a left knee injury. Pierre Thomas has a left ankle injury. Tracy Porter has an injured hamstring, and Patrick Robinson, the rookie corner, the team's #1 pick, came off the field late, prompting the return of Tracy Porter back onto the field for the late stretch. So Sean Payton didn't go into any of those injuries other than to say that they'll update him on Wednesday. But he did say that the Drew Brees injury is nothing serious, but he was limping noticeably in the locker room today. So, of course, we'll monitor those and try and give you as much in-depth background as to the nature of their injuries as the week progresses. But all in all, Sean Payton also said that right now that was as of noon Central Standard Time on September the 27th, that there were no plans no plans to bring in a kicker. I know this because I exchanged texts with John Carney that they did talk with John Carney. I assume Mickey Loomis is the general manager, being the one that's doing the talking. Because Sean said he had not talked to any kicker. That there were no plans, no arrangements made to bring anybody in again as of noon. So we'll see about that. But what I liked about Sean is I think right now he's going to stick with the young kid. And I think that's good because for a lot of reasons. One, I think he's got a lot of ability. He earned some stripes last year with his kicking in the postseason. He's made some big kicks in a relatively short period of time. He's won some big games for this franchise in a relatively short period of time. And yes, he hasn't kicked well, okay? I would be surprised if Sean throws in the towel on this guy. But John Carney has been contacted by the team. When I talked to him last night via text, nothing had been arranged yet. And again, I have not exchanged any conversation with John today. I heard Matt Stover's name has been thrown in the picture. If they're going to do anything, it's going to be in the next 24 hours probably. They're going to bring in a kicker or kickers to take a look at and just decide where they're going to go from here. So it's a very fluid situation as we speak, I think. Sean is leaning toward keeping the young guy, but he's also, hey, he gets paid to win games, and these other guys get paid to win games as well, and you just can't have that. You can't miss a 29-yard field goal in the NFL. So that's it for here. The team is off until Wednesday. Peyton is giving them off tomorrow. Well-deserved rest. They're 2-1, tied atop the division from a record standpoint with Tampa Bay and Atlanta, but of course Atlanta is in the driver's seat from that standpoint. So until Wednesday, when we meet again, it's Brian Allee-Walsh, NewOrleans.com. Aloha.